Welcome to part 1 of a series all about Geometry Dash, where I will be trying to beat every main level with Dementia. So the first thing to do in this challenge was to ask ourselves the question, can you beat Geometry Dash with Dementia? Is it even possible? To answer this question, we have to follow up with another question. Can you beat Geometry Dash with Dementia? Is it even possible? The first thing I did was click on the play button, and then I realized the first level in the game was Stereo Madness, so we had to start there. The first thing I did was start on Stereo Madness, and I got to 22% on my first try. This was looking promising. I then went ahead and started my first ever attempt, dying to the second spike. I was a very good Geometry Dash player, so this was my first time ever dying to the second spike in Stereo Madness. After this fail, I asked myself the question, is it possible to beat Geometry Dash with Dementia? After wondering about this, I went ahead and started playing my first ever attempt on Stereo Madness. I failed the second jump, and for the first time in my life, I died to the second spike in Stereo Madness. I was now starting my first attempt. This wasn't going to be easy. After starting my first ever attempt of this challenge, I managed to get to the ship part, which was very good for my first ever attempt. However, I forgot how to control the ship and died on the first block of the ship part. My first attempt looked promising. Maybe this challenge wasn't so hard after all. But then it occurred to me. I had to ask myself, can you beat Geometry Dash with Dementia? Is it even possible? This was obviously a very hard task, and I had to prepare myself. The first thing I ever did in this challenge was changing my icons, so the game would feel easier. I was now ready to start, or so I thought, because before this challenge, it would be smart to change my icons to make the game feel easier. So that's exactly what I did. After opening up the game for the first time to try this challenge, I went ahead and started my first ever attempt on Stereo Madness. I got quite far, even making it past the ship part. I of course went ahead and grabbed the first coin in the level, so I could truly beat the game. After getting a bit further, however, I realized that I forgot to collect the first coin, so I decided to crash on purpose. After my first attempt, I was furious that I had gotten so far, but forgot to get the second coin. So I was determined. I was going to beat Stereo Madness once and for all. But then I wondered, can you beat Geometry Dash with Dementia? Is it even possible? This was going to be difficult, so the first thing I ever did was going ahead and changing my icons, so the game would feel better to play. Now it was time to start this challenge. Starting the challenge, I figured Stereo Madness would be a good place to start. On my first ever attempt, I actually did end up beating the level. So tune in tomorrow for the first episode of the challenge where I ask myself the question, can you beat Geometry Dash with Dementia?